Welcome to the Savage Executive Podcast, where we lead with clarity, build with strategy, and multiply what matters. I'm your host, Steve Smith, and today we're talking about something that every leader eventually runs into, whether they realize it or not. It's that moment when effort is no longer the problem, passion isn't the issue, commitment isn't lacking, but everything still feels harder than it should. This is episode 17. Today we're going to talk about workflow that scales your leadership. Let's begin with today's savage moment. If everything depends on you, nothing can grow beyond you. That single truth explains why so many capable leaders feel stretched, tired, and stuck. Not because they're doing the wrong things, but because they're doing too many of the right things without structure. Most leaders start with vision and drive. You care deeply. You show up early. You stay late. And you carry the weight. But at some point, something shifts. Your calendar fills. Decisions stack up. People wait on you. Emails pile up. And progress slows. Not because you've stopped leading, but because everything still flows through you. I've seen this in ministry, in schools, in businesses, and honestly in my own leadership at different seasons. It's not a motivation problem, it's a workflow problem. And until workflow changes, pressure will keep increasing. In my context, leading teams across ministry and education, workflow matters because it protects people. It protects staff from burnout. It protects volunteers from confusion. It protects leaders who carry the weight they were never meant to carry alone. But this principle isn't limited to ministry. Business leaders feel it. Entrepreneurs feel it. Nonprofit directors feel it. Department heads feel it. When leadership lacks structure, momentum becomes fragile. Here's the shift that many leaders need to make. Workflow is not about control. Workflow is about clarity. Good workflow reduces decision fatigue. It creates predictable rhythms, and it frees leaders to focus on what matters most. When workflow is unclear, everything feels urgent. When workflow is healthy, priorities become obvious. That's not rigidity, that's stewardship. Every healthy workflow operates on three different levels. There's your personal workflow, your calendar, your planning rhythm, your review habits, and your margin. If your personal workflow is chaotic, everything downstream will feel chaotic too. Healthy leaders don't fill every moment. They protect space to think, review, and prepare. Then there's the team workflow. This is how communication happens, how work gets assigned, who decides what happens next. When teams don't know what happens next, they wait. When teams don't have clarity, they move. And then there's organizational workflow, onboarding, project launches, budget cycles, strategic planning. When these systems are unclear, leaders become bottlenecks. When these systems are healthy, leadership multiplies. Your personal workflow shapes your team. Your team workflow shapes the organization. So let's talk about the practical side. Let me give you 5 steps that I've used repeatedly to help leaders move from reactive to intentional. First, clarify the outcome. Before assigning tasks, ask one question. What does success actually look like here? If you can't write the outcome in one clear sentence, the task isn't ready yet. Clarity always comes before activity. The second step, identify the repeatable steps. Every healthy process has steps that repeat. Name them. simplify them, and write them down. If this feels different every time, that's a sign it needs a workflow. If you can't explain the process, you can't improve it. Third, assign clear ownership. Every step needs an owner. Not a group, not the team, but a person. If two people think they own it, no one really does. Ownership removes confusion. Clarity builds confidence. Fourth, establish a rhythm. Healthy work moves in rhythms, not emergencies. Daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly. If something only gets attention when it breaks, the rhythm isn't working. Rhythm reduces anxiety and creates stability. That's good for leaders and teams alike. Fifth, review and adjust regularly. No system is perfect forever. Healthy leaders review workflows quarterly. They adjust without overreacting. They refine without restarting. If you haven't looked at your process in 6 months, it's probably drifting. Small improvements compound over time. I once worked with a team full of talented, passionate people. They cared deeply, they worked hard, but the results were inconsistent. Some weeks felt great, but other weeks felt chaotic. When we stepped back, the issues became obvious. Priorities shifted weekly. Communication was inconsistent. Tasks were assigned verbally, and nothing had a clear rhythm. So we had to slow things down for a little while. We clarified priorities, defined ownership, and established simple rhythms. The team didn't become more talented, they became more consistent. And consistency changed the outcomes. Workflow doesn't replace passion, it protects it. When workflow is healthy, leaders stop carrying unnecessary weight. Teams move with confidence. Communication improves. Burnout decreases, and momentum stabilizes. Workflow doesn't limit leadership. It frees leadership. This episode connects directly to something that I've been building behind the scenes, the Savage Executive Ministry Operating System. It's designed to help ministries and organizations build clarity across budgeting, workflow, leadership structure, communication, and so much more. Not more complexity, more alignment. We are going to launch this at the beginning of January. More details are coming soon. Here's today's Savage takeaway. Leadership doesn't scale through effort. It scales through structure. If you get that right, pressure decreases and impact increases. Here's a simple action step. Identify one recurring responsibility that still depends on you. Ask, what outcome does this need to produce? What steps repeat every time? Who could own this with clarity? Then build a simple workflow and release it. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the Savage Executive Podcast. If today's episode helped you, can I encourage you to give it a like and a follow and share it with someone that you know that might be carrying too much weight alone. And remember, stay sharp, lead boldly, and keep building what matters. Have a great day.